PK tries to divorce wife Dorit Kemsley before they hit 10 years. Dorit Kemsley is done with her relationship with her husband, PK. She expresses that her divorce has gone from bad to worse, and there is no chance of reconnection between the two. Her friend is accusing Paul Kemsley of trying to divorce her before their 10-year mark. Dorit and Paul Kemsley have a dramatic split. Season 14 of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills is heating up, especially with the messy and dramatic split between Dorit Kemsley and her husband, Paul PK Kemsley. In an exclusive first look at the mid-season trailer, Dorit confirms that there is no chance of reconnection between the two. "If the man wants a divorce, we're getting a divorce," she says, making it clear that she is done with the relationship. The tension continues to build as Dorit discusses California's community property laws, which means that, in a divorce, assets would typically be split in half. Her co-star Erica Jane drops a bomb, accusing PK of trying to finalize the divorce before reaching the 10-year mark, possibly to avoid sharing a larger portion of their wealth. Dorit's personal drama isn't the only conflict happening this season. A heated confrontation occurs between her and Sutton Strack. In the trailer, Sutton angrily calls Dorit a *******, and Dorit quickly comes back by saying, "Don't call me a ****** in my home." The situation escalates, with Sutton taking jabs at Dorit's financial status, saying, "You need to pick up on somebody else whose wallet fits." Erica then steps in, accusing Sutton of pretending to be a friend, while secretly working against everyone. Dorit and Kyle's tension has passed. Dorit's relationship with Kyle Richards seems to have softened. The two are seen laughing and hugging in the trailer, hinting that their past tension may have passed. However, Kyle's own struggles come into play as she navigates her breakup with Mauricio Umansky. A tearful moment between the exes shows Mauricio apologizing to Kyle, saying, "I would never want to hurt you on purpose," talking about the deep emotional pain they both feel. The season also teases some wild moments, including a trip to Street Lucia, a funny scene with Jennifer Tilly, and a chaotic moment with Kathy Hilton, who accidentally disrupts a fashion show by strolling onto the runway. Fans can expect more drama and twists as the season unfolds. The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills continues to deliver all the drama, tension, and unexpected moments that keep viewers hooked. The show airs every Tuesday at 8 p.m. on Bravo. Do you think Dorit's divorce will finalize before their 10-year mark? Is Paul Kemsley really trying to take more than his half? Let us know what you think in the comments. PK Kemsley sat on the edge of his designer leather couch, a glass of scotch swirling lazily in his hand. The late afternoon sun streamed through the expansive floor-to-ceiling windows of their Beverly Hills mansion, illuminating the extravagant decor Dorit had painstakingly curated. Every pillow, every vase, every piece of art screamed luxury, or at least, Dorit's version of it. PK took another sip, his gaze fixating on the ornate chandelier hanging above their dining table, a piece Dorit had once declared iconic. It wasn't that PK didn't love Dorit. He did, or at least he thought he did. But as their 10-year wedding anniversary loomed, PK couldn't shake the feeling that their marriage had become less about love and more about appearances. The arguments had become more frequent, the silences more deafening. It wasn't just the endless filming of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, or the pressure to maintain their image as a glamorous power couple. It was the growing realization that they were living parallel lives, connected only by the camera lenses that followed them. He exhaled deeply, running a hand through his thinning hair. It was time. Time to face the truth he'd been avoiding for months. He picked up his phone and dialed his lawyer's number. "Stephen, it's PK," he said, his voice steady but firm. I need to talk about starting divorce proceedings." The words hung in the air like a storm cloud, ominous and heavy. Dorit Kemsley was in the middle of a photo shoot for her latest swimwear line when her assistant rushed over, phone in hand. "Dorit, it's PK. He says it's urgent." Dorit rolled her eyes, her perfectly manicured fingers adjusting a strand of her impeccably styled hair. "Tell him I'll call him back. I'm busy." "He's insisting," the assistant whispered, her tone laced with unease. Sighing dramatically, Dorit took the phone. "PK, darling, what is it?" "I'm in the middle of something." "We need to talk, Dorit," PK said, his accent thicker than usual, a sign he was nervous. "Tonight. No cameras, no distractions. Just us." Dorit's brow furrowed. PK's tone was serious, too serious. "All right," she said cautiously. "I'll be home by 7. That evening, Dorit walked into their home, her heels clicking against the marble floor. The house was eerily quiet, save for the faint hum of the air conditioning. PK was waiting for her in the living room, his scotch glass now empty on the coffee table. "What's going on, PK?" Dorit asked, her tone guarded. PK stood, his hands stuffed into the pockets of his tailored trousers. "Sit down, Dorit." Her eyes narrowed, but she complied, perching delicately on the edge of the couch. PK took a deep breath, the weight of his decision pressing down on him. "I've been doing a lot of thinking," he began. "About us, about our marriage." Dorit's perfectly shaped eyebrows shot up. And I think it's time we go our separate ways." The room fell silent. Dorit stared at him, her lips parted in shock. Are you serious?" PK nodded. "I am. This isn't easy for me, Dorit, but I think it's for the best. We've grown apart. We're not the same people we were when we got married." Dorit stood abruptly, her hands clenched into fists. "You've got to be kidding me. After everything we've been through, you're just going to throw it all away." "It's not like that," PK said, his voice tinged with frustration. "I've tried, Dorit. I really have. But this isn't working anymore." "So what? You're just going to walk away? Leave me to pick up the pieces?" Dorit's voice cracked, her carefully composed facade beginning to crumble. "I'll make sure you're taken care of," PK said. "Financially, I mean. You and the kids won't want for anything." Dorit let out a bitter laugh. "Oh, how generous of you. How very noble." PK sighed, running a hand over his face. "I don't want this to turn into a fight, Dorit. I just think it's time we both move on." "Move on?" Dorit's voice rose, her anger bubbling to the surface. "You think it's that simple? That we can just move on as if the last 10 years meant nothing?" "That's not what I'm saying," PK replied, his tone weary. "But we're not happy, Dorit. You know that as well as I do." "Maybe we're not happy because you've checked out," Dorit shot back. "You've been so focused on your businesses, your image, that you've forgotten what it means to be a husband." PK's jaw tightened. "And you haven't. You've been so wrapped up in your career, your social media, your bloody swimwear line, that you've forgotten what it means to be a wife." The words hung in the air, sharp and cutting. Dorit stared at him, her eyes glistening with unused tears. "So that's it then? After everything, you're just done?" PK looked away, unable to meet her gaze. "I think it's for the best." The news of their impending divorce spread like wildfire. The tabloids had a field day, dissecting every detail of their marriage and speculating about the reasons behind the split. Dorit threw herself into her work, using her brand and her platform to distract herself from the pain. PK, meanwhile, focused on his businesses, determined to prove that he could thrive on his own. But behind closed doors, both were struggling. Dorit found herself reminiscing about the early days of their relationship, when everything had felt so easy, so full of promise. PK, too, was plagued by memories of happier times, moments of laughter and love that now felt like a distant dream. As their 10-year anniversary came and went, both couldn't help but wonder if they'd made a mistake. Was it really too late to save their marriage? Or had they been too consumed by pride and resentment to see what they were throwing away? Only time would tell.